Mabuhay everyone, Marches here. Welcome to the channel. Today we will be comparing the DRose 11 and of course the Dame 7, both signature sneakers from Adidas. So let us find out which one is better. Let's go. Before we start guys with this video, I would just like to remind you guys, if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. And of course, like this video afterwards. If it helps you, and maybe share it to your friends, it will really mean a lot. So I have here two of Adidas signature sneakers. Of course, this is the Dame 7s, the latest ones from the Dame line, and the DRose 11, of course, DRose signature sneaker right now at the 11th sneaker. So that's really a milestone for any athlete if you reach 10 above signature sneakers. So let us find out which is better. So let's start off first with the uppers of this two sneaker. FYI for the Dame 7s, it really varies. The upper really varies depending on what colorway you'll be getting. Like for example, my pair, which is the Ric Flair or the Nature Boy colorway. I chose this one because of the synthetic leather upper. I'm pretty biased with leather because I really know and I'm quite sure that they'll become supportive, especially for the upper, laterally and medially. So if I'm to choose between leather or mesh, I would default to leather because even though it's a little bit hotter, the ventilation will not be that good, but I would choose support more compared to ventilation of the sneaker. So that's just me. So that's a thing to consider. Then the other colorways, like I said, uses mesh upper, very similar to the toe area of the DRose 11, while on the side of the DRose 11 features this ripstop that is kind of transparent, which is a more futuristic look to a sneaker compared to my Nature Boy, because Nature Boy is a WWE or WWF wrestler and he's known to be very extravagant. So he uses leather jackets, leather coats, and leather capes. So it's pretty loud in terms of fashion. So these two materials are both in the extreme. It really depends on you which you would like better. But for me, if choosing between a leather and the mesh and ripstop upper, I would choose this leather on the Dame 7s because, like I said, the support is there. The material doesn't stretch even after several wears. And even for the first time that I used the Dame 7s, the synthetic leather wasn't that hard. The synthetic leather wasn't that hard. It broke in quick, unlike other leathers. So that's an upside on the Dame 7s. And there's a little bit of ventilation around the tongue area, which has a foam back mesh. So there's a little bit of ventilation there. What I don't kind of like on the Dame 7s are the laces because it loosens up over time. It's the round, thick laces. It doesn't really hold the tightness long compared to a flat lace like this on the DRose 11. And as for the lacing system of both, it has a traditional lacing system, but on the Dame 7, it has the straps in the forefoot as lace loops. But going to the back, it has the strings similar to the ones on the DRose 11. And both lace loops durability, so far so good. There's no tearing. There's a lot of you asking me about that. When the lace loops are strings, a lot of you are kind of worried about that it might break. But so far so good. Both of my pairs are still in good condition as for the lace loops. And as for the lateral support, like I said, a little bit more advantage on the Dame 7s. And of course, durability, leather too. But in terms of breathability, of course, you choose the DRose 11, which has a thinner material, or maybe choose the other colorways of the Dame 7s. I'm sorry, I don't have the other colorways of the Dame 7 that has mesh upper, but I think it will be the same. If you have the mesh upper on the Dame 7s, the support will be kind of like in the DRose 11. And moving to the back part of the sneaker, both are actually a mid-cut sneaker, but I like the cushion inside the Dame 7s more, and the Achilles pillows is better on the Dame 7s. So even though the DRose 11 has a padded heel, but it doesn't have those Achilles pillows like we often see nowadays on sneakers. The DRose 11 has just a flat padded back, but in terms of heel containment, lockdown, I would say a slight advantage on the Dame 7s, and the DRose 11 ain't that bad either. And as for the heel support, both have internal heel plate or heel cup, but on the DRose 11, it has this plastic that goes from the midfoot going back to the heel and serves as an external heel cup. So it's an additional heel support and lateral containment for the DRose 11, which the Dames doesn't have. The cushion only goes up by just a bit and it kind of contains you. And if you can see this cushion part, this also goes up. But as for support, if you want more support for the heel, the DRose 11 will give you that. And now moving on to the midsole cushion of these two sneakers, which a lot of you have been asking, which is better, which lightstrike foam is better between the two. So this too has full-length lightstrike foam, and the main difference that I saw between these two lightstrike foam is the Dame 7's lightstrike is a little bit thicker, so you're a little bit higher off the ground compared to the DRose 11's lightstrike. But if you want more cushion, of course, go with the Dame 7's. But I didn't feel any delayed or lag on the cushion. It's really plush and it has a very nice impact protection from the forefoot and heel, especially the heel. It's a lot thicker lightstrike on the heel of the Dame 7's because even though it looks kind of thicker on the DRose, but you're really sitting low on the DRose compared to the Dame 7's, which you are kind of sitting or riding higher compared to the DRose. So that's one thing to take note. And if you want more court feel and responsiveness, the DRose 11 will give you that and still give you that nice impact protection in the forefoot and heel. But if you want more light strike cushion, of course, go with the Dame 7s. But if you want responsiveness and court feel, DRose 11 is for you. Another important part of these two sneakers, of course, is the outsole. The Dame 7 has this lightning pattern outsole, which is translucent on my colorway, and they're relatively thick, and on a court, they're pretty nice. It grips really nicely, although it doesn't squeak that much. It gives you enough and decent grip. You don't slide unlike the Dame 6, so this has a more consistent traction compared to the Dame 6. But comparing it to the DRose 11, which has the traction pattern of one of my favorite Adidas basketball sneaker, which is the DRose 7. They carried it over here, but it doesn't have the same rubber compound, but still it gives you that very nice traction that you need even on a dusty floor. And don't get me wrong, Dame 7s still are very good on a dusty floor, but the DRose 11's traction is better for me. It grips a little bit harder compared to the Dame 7s. But for outdoor use, I think this is where the Dame 7s will win because of the rubber materials are a lot thicker compared to the grooves on the DRose 11. So advantage for the outdoors, the Dame 7. I actually played with the Dame 7s twice outdoors and still the grooves are still very well intact. And as for the weight of both sneakers, this is where I was quite surprised because I weighed it earlier and I thought the Dame 7 will be a lot heavier since it has leather. The cushion or the light strike foam is a little bit thicker compared to the DRose 11. I don't know where the weight of the DRose 11 is coming from, but when I was weighing it, they're about the same weight and the Dame 7 is around 7 grams lighter. So maybe even the mesh version of the Dame 7 or the other colors of the Dame 7, if it has a mesh upper, I think it will be lighter. So if you want a lighter sneaker, Dame 7, but don't get me wrong, the DRose 11 is just 457. This is 451. So they are both on the average weight. They are not heavy. So whichever colorway you choose, they're pretty much okay in terms of weight. And as for the price, they're also similar, 7,000 pesos. And right now, some colorways are 50% off. I got this 50% off, this one SRP, but I know this is already on sale too. And better check out Adidas website. And if you're in the Philippines, check out their stores. There's a lot of sale ongoing right now. Crazy sale. Overall summary for these two sneakers, it really depends on your preference. Mainly the upper, it really depends on the colorway, but on the cushion and the traction. So the cushion, if you want a closer to the ground feel, but still has a good impact protection, DRose 11, and a very good traction, DRose 11. But if you want a thicker cushion, more impact protection from the forefoot to the heel, and a good outdoor traction, of course, the Dame 7s. So that's it on my comparison between the DRose 11 and the Dame 7. Let me know which sneaker you would choose. Hit me a comment down below. Thank you again for dropping by. This has been Marches once again. Thank you for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.